Hey everyone, and welcome back to our personal top 100 games of all time. I am your host, Jordan Vickers, for tonight. And tonight we are doing part two, where we go from 90 to 81. Previously on Avatar, we had only one entry, and that was Gary's. No, that was mine. With Brutal Legend, where Gary said that is higher on his list. Number 94 for me. That is the only one we didn't get to talk about. Will we get to talk about it tonight? Who knows? Well, Gary knows. I have no fucking idea. I have no idea what's on your guys' list except for what we've already talked about. But, anyways, how are you guys doing tonight? Let's go with Gary.
Doing great, doing great. Thanks, Jordan. Really excited to talk about the next 10 on our list. It was so much fun last time. I'm really looking forward to this series.
Oh yeah, this is just. I feel like it's going to like build up more and more, and by the time we're done, we're like, man, that was a journey. But Kevin, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, Jordan. However, I am very sorry, but I had to cut Wii Sports from my list. Now, Wii Music
Oh,
might still be there, but we'll see.
oh,
Now, when you say that's a journey, is that foreshadowing?
not on
Ooh,
my list, sadly.
maybe a journey to a savage planet.
To a Grand Theft Auto? No, I'm just kidding.
Well,
All right. Well,
let's
yeah.
kick it off with the guy who actually got tickets to the real Top 100 show, Gary.
Yeah, yeah. If any other kind of funny best friends are listening, excited to see you there in October. That's what inspired this top 100 list. So I'll be there as a peer, a fellow peer in 100 video game reviewing. But yeah, come say hi if you're there. So I will start off today with number 90, and that is South Park: Stick of Truth. So this game is a game that came out and I played on. I can't remember if it was Xbox 360 or PS4. I think it spanned generations, but it was the first of the two games that they released in this kind of adventure RPG style. Uh, and what I really liked about this game is that it really rewards you if you've followed South Park at all in your life. And as someone who's followed South Park since the 90s, because it has turned into something like The Simpsons or one of these, established, long running franchises now. Uh, if you're familiar with it and if you've been following it, the game has so many Easter eggs and just callbacks to funny jokes and stories, and it's actually a really decent kind of game. A little, they really want to design it like that. It looks like South Park because of the low res uh, style that South Park is as a show, and so they wanted to look like South Park but feel like Skyrim or a dumbed down version of that. And one thing about this is that the creators Matt sorry, excuse me, Trey Parker and Matt Stone, yeah, the creators have talked about that it forced them to actually map out the town in a way that they've never done before. And so they had to go and kind of look back at references and see, okay, this is supposed to be here. And I guess we've already established that, the Tom's rhinoplasty is next to City Walk, or, different examples like that. They, established the whole town and where, the pond is, Stark's Pond, and all the places are. And it's really cool to think that like it forced these people that have always told the story through one medium to like build out their world in telling it through another. So I really like this game in that it's just a fun game to play. The combat was a little bit lacking. They kind of changed it up in the next game, making it more of a card based combat. The next one's more about heroes, and this one's a lot more about like um, wizards and stuff like that. So that Fractured Butthole is the second one. South Park's Fractured Butthole, and then this one, The Stick of Truth. So that's South Park Stick of Truth. That's my 90th.
Yeah, I am actually not that much of a fan of South Park at all. But the funny thing is, I remember this being a big fucking deal when it was being made because, like, I remember the two creators were like, "Man, our previous games just suck," and and they were like, "We want to make sure this one doesn't suck," and it with the technology, even like back when it showed up on the 360 PS3 era, uh, it was able to look like the TV show. Then again, like I imagine that wasn't super hard to do with because the show doesn't look good on purpose to begin with. Uh, but they were everyone was like, "Will this be good?" And then it came out and it was like, "It's good. It's really good." And it almost even got me to try it, but I was still like, I haven't really watched it since season one. I have no real stick in the game. Uh, 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 but like I'm glad people enjoy it, and I'm glad like the two games in that series turned out really good. Uh, what do you think, Kevin?
This is one that I have never gotten around to playing. It's always one of those where I glance at it and I think like, man, I could jump into that, and then I just find for some reason get distracted by something else. But it's one of those that I've always thought to myself like, yeah, I should try that, and then just haven't gotten around to it.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's kind of me with Fractured Butthole. The second one is like I started it enough to get a feeling for it, and like went through the tutorials and everything, but never played the whole thing. Even though I totally finished Stick of Truth and think it's a good enough, full story and everything. There's something you said also when you have the original creators involved in a thing. It's not just like the IP that's being made, and then yeah, they went out and got Obsidian to help make it with them. So it's a great game.
Yeah,
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 Kevin.
yeah.
What is your number 90?
So my number 90 is it is sort of like a preview of a game or a demo, but this standalone download, uh, particularly this version, is something very special, and that is Slender. And
Oh,
do either one of you know anything about Slender?
yeah. This is the one that took the internet by storm, like a
Yeah,
long time ago, right?
way
Yeah.
back in 2012, and this is specifically the free version that you could download and just play, and like they weren't asking for money at all. Later on, the developer did release a console version and another version on Steam called Slender: The Arrival, and it came with this version and also sort of like the actual real game release that it has like 3 or 4 chapters after that first version. But that first version was so good in its simple premise, and that is that you are playing as just a nameless, voiceless character that is wandering through the woods and looking for 8 pieces of paper. And so like this particular version was called Slender: The Eight Pages, and you had to just wander this sort of randomly generated map, and it had a bunch of specific set pieces that were handcrafted, but their location was often randomized. And so you had to like wander this forest and look for 8 different pieces of paper. One was each placed randomly at these set pieces, and there were like, I don't know, 12 or 15 different set pieces, but only 8 pages. So sometimes you might find a page in the junkyard area, and other times it might not be there. So it was always very random. But once you pick up one page, Slender starts to hunt you. And as you collect more and more pages, he gets more and more aggressive. And if you are able to avoid him, you can collect 8 pages. But you odds are you're not going to get there. And if he does catch up to you, he just sort of hypnotizes you with a static image on screen, and like literally you see a bunch of static fill your screen. And its design is very low budget in terms of like it not using like huge graphics or anything. It's not supposed to look amazing, but its atmosphere is what really sells it, and especially when it comes to the sound. So as he gets more and more aggressive and closer, the sound becomes more and more oppressive and scary. A great story about this was when I was playing it for the first time. I was in a coffee shop and I had headphones on and stuff. So I was just randomly playing it, and it was like 11 o'clock in the morning. And I got to like 6 pages, and then he just was standing there when I came around a corner somewhere. And I literally just went like, fuck, oh, God, God. And I like threw my headphones off, and there was a woman and her kid staring at me like, and I just like waved to them and said, sorry. But
That's hilarious.
it gave me such a good scare in broad daylight, and it was so immersive that it was an unforgettable experience. If you can find a copy of it online, download it and give it a try. It's completely free, and its design is incredible in terms of like how it has taken one idea and just made it very simple. It's a very simple thing. It takes you like 5 or 10 minutes to play, and it could scare the shit out of you. And it is something. It felt like this could have been the PT teaser before PT was a thing, and it did take the internet by storm for a couple of months. There was a great video from IGN of Charles Onyett and Anthony Gallegos playing it together. And if you want to just see what it looks like without having to search for it online, go onto YouTube and just search for IGN Slender gameplay.
Yeah, this kind of opened up the door for like a really niche side of the internet. Like, I feel like this really made creepypastas really more popular. Along with similar games like SCP, for sure. Like, and I think without this, we don't have games like Outlast.
We don't have movies
absolutely.
Like Backrooms.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I like when people pick things that are also like there's good history behind this. Like without this, we don't have blank.
Yeah, yeah, and also if you go and find a way to play this now, you're still gonna really enjoy it.
Yeah, Gary, you got any thoughts?
No, just that birthing a meme, it becomes something bigger than the game. Like a lot of people know Slender Man, don't even know like the game Slender. So, I think that's a testament to awesome creative.
Yeah. Moving on to my number 90, Metaphor ReFantazio.
Wow.
A newer game on this list. The funny thing is, made by the same people who do Persona. I only played one Persona before this, and this is a very interesting game. At first, you think, oh, it's Persona, but fantasy flavored, and it kind of is. But they really play with a bunch of themes, and they kind of like slap you in the face with like some really big questions. The character design is really good in this game. The story's extremely well done. The mechanics, like for a turn-based game, you kind of have to think, especially during boss fights. You can't just keep mashing shit again and again and just beating things that way. This game was actually kind of hard for a turn-based game too. It really had a very long end boss fight that was like it felt like you were stumbling across an enemy that was like, this is a special enemy. This should not be the final boss. I was barely able to beat this game. it's insane. The uh, the music, by the way, is so out. I love it. It's so fucking crazy. They got like operatic uh, songs and just a really robust like orchestra for this. They really went very far out on it. The only bad thing is like by the time I was done, I was like, I don't think I want to play a JRPG for a while. um, uh, do you guys have any thoughts on this game?
I have not played it, so Kevin, have you?
Okay.
No, the only like the closest thing that I played to it is probably Clair Obscur.
Yeah. Uh,
So Kevin, are you? I'm going to drop a bomb right now. Maybe you're the similar. I've not played any Personas either.
No, I haven't. No.
Okay.
Oh
I
wait,
don't.
no. I have technically played Persona 4 Golden for like an hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
was one of the games that is, and kind of like Persona, but especially Metaphor Refantasia because it's more recent. Where I watched some streams of it, and I understand why it was popular, but I just am not as much of a JRPG player. I've played some, but it takes a lot to get me to come play one. Kind of like Clair Obscura.
Yeah,
Took
I
me a
yeah.
while.
well that would be kind of my closing thought on it is like if you are into games like this and you haven't played it yet, I highly suggest you check it out. Uh,
Mhm.
just be warned, it does come with the caveat of a JRPG where it took me a long time, like almost 100 hours to beat this game, and that's not
Wow. Yeah.
platinuming it or anything. And there's no way in hell I would be able to platinum this game. Oh, I tried to fight some of the secret bosses. They're some of the hardest I have ever had, and I only could beat one of them. But that was my number 90. Uh, Scrabbling up a little bit on 89. Let's go with Kevin. What is your 89?
Five women were at the clinic that day. And right there it says Nancy Turner, 3:30 p.m.
That's Heidi's mom. So Heidi Turner was the two-faced bitch.
The evidence is irrefutable. Thanks, new kid. We now know it was Heidi Turner all along who was spreading the rumors.
Freaking whore. Two-faced butt rag. Fuck Heidi Turner and her fucking two-faced ass.
But Heidi's really sorry, so we're deciding to forgive her.
I love you guys so much. We love you too, Heidi.
You served the girls well, new kid, so you have our services. Tell the boys we will play their game.
Okay, so my 89 is going to be another artistic one, a bit called Line Light, and this is a puzzle game that came out in 2017. It was from one creator, like one guy had this idea of taking like the basic puzzle idea of pushing a line like a marker or some sort of like thing through a maze, and you can only move like in like one dimension or like one direction, left or right or whatever. And he drew mazes around that whole thing, but it has a very relaxing soundtrack. It's very chill, and the style of this game is just meant for you to kick back and relax. And it is one of the most, I guess, like artistic puzzle games that I've ever played. Where like you could say like, oh yeah, this is like something that I would show my grandma and be like, hey, just play around with this for like 5 minutes and enjoy it.
Did you say
And
line or lime?
as in straight line.
Okay, because I
Yeah.
think your microphone crackled a little, and I was
Okay.
looking it up, and I was like, "This looks nothing like the game you're talking about."
No, like it line, and it's all one word. So line as in straight line, and then light. And
Yeah, now I'm
Uh,
looking at the game
yeah.
you're talking about. Before I was looking
Yeah.
at some other anime thing.
but like yeah, this game, it has terrible SEO and like bad word of mouth properties, because like anytime I want to recommend it to somebody, it always has to be written out, or I have to say exactly that, like line as in straight line. Okay. And it has a great soundtrack and really cool style. Definitely something that was right up my alley as soon as I saw it. And when I first like saw a trailer for the game, I was like, oh, this looks cool. And I went online on PSN and found out it was on sale for $2. And I was like, dude, okay, I'm jumping on this just because it looks like it's my shit. So I bought it on a whim and have loved it ever since.
Kevin, when you retire, I foresee you like opening a museum of weird ass indie games that no one's ever fucking heard of before. Kind of like the weirdest art gallery you've ever fucking seen in your life.
Well, pause this episode and go watch the trailer and listen to the music that goes with it because you'll get the full effect.
Yeah, well, you definitely make me feel like my list is generic.
I looked at my list the day before we started this and like, I am a basic ass bitch.
As we go further up in my list, I'm sure we're gonna get a little bit more mainstream. But
I'm going to get so bland. It's going to be like eating a peanut butter jelly sandwich.
Super Mario Brothers is my no, but I feel like this one did deserve some attention, and there's a reason why I've played through it like 3 or 4 times after I platinumed the game. So I really did love it.
Any thoughts, Gary?
No.
Okay.
Just that, yeah, I think that it looks really cool and really anything that plays with lights, and if you know anything about 3D modeling and how a light source is different than an object, and actually using lights as object is just so beautiful, I think, always. And this looks really beautiful.
It does look like one I'm gonna have to try it out later.
Yep.
But moving on to my number 89, kind of a hidden gem amongst fighting game fans, The Last Blade 2. Are either of you guys familiar with this game?
No, let me look it up.
Nope.
Okay, so The Last Blade 2 comes from SNK from way back in their fun King of Fighters era. You might be familiar with a couple of characters if you ever played the crossover games like Capcom versus SNK.
Okay, this looks like Street Fighter.
Yeah, this game is basically 2D Soul Calibur.
Ah, okay.
Ooh, that has my attention.
Yeah, I love this game. Oh my god, Ed. And for those going, well, why don't you just play Samurai Showdown? Samurai Showdown's great. I love this a little bit better. They have to give you 2 health bars in this game because your health whittles down quickly. You get they put a lot of damage behind just even simple attacks, let alone combos. It's a samurai Japanese style based game. Everyone kind of has special powers. Very tropey but very interesting character models. You got a bunch of people with katanas, but then you got a Shinto priestess, a guy that looks straight up like Valdo from Soul Calibur with these giant butcher ass knives. A giant dude with a fucking Tetsubo that feels like he could just crack your back, just bash you over the head. Really fun character design, really fun, easy combos. Well, one thing of notoriety in the mechanics of this game, one of the buttons is all about parrying. So usually, you got to press back or whatever, like in Street Fighter 3. This one, no, you just push a simple button and you can parry your opponent's attack. And I think it really mixes things up. Still super gorgeous, great soundtrack. Everyone who I've showed this game to is this is really cool. Hidden gem. Go try it out if you can. That's The Last Blade 2. You guys have any thoughts?
It's on PS4.
It is? Yeah. I was able to get the other Gary, our friend, the Sly G Cooper, to be like, you need to play this game with me. And he's like, yeah, fine. Okay. And he's like, all right, this is good. And I'm like, damn right, it's good.
That's cool. Yeah, I just nothing really to say. Just love the art style.
Yeah, not a whole lot to talk about, but man, I do just love this game. It's something I feel like I need to shout out on like my top 100 list for sure. Uh, let's see. Gary, what is your 89?
Oh,
Well-
hold on. It's also on PS Vita.
Oh
And it's
yeah,
on sale.
Oh.
It's on sale for $2.24 right now. Holy
Wait, the
shit!
Vita store's still
Yeah.
open?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's still up and running for another year. You have until July 2027. Jordan, I just
never-
bought this on Vita.
Good.
I would never owned a Vita, unfortunately. I had the original PSP. I was a big fan of that one, but
I expect a 100-word essay by our next recording. Oh,
all right. Well, my number 89 is also just a little obscure game. I don't know if you guys have heard of this. Grand Theft Auto 3.
never heard of it.
oh really? Huh.
Is
made a
it higher
third
on
one?
either of your lists?
I don't have a Grand Theft Auto game on my list.
Okay.
Yeah, you're it.
All right. Well, I don't. There's not much to go about this game specifically. This game, other than after this game, video games weren't the same again.
Oh
Every
yeah,
game
absolutely.
after this that was a third person like sandbox game. This game invented the sandbox, and it invented the island map and all kinds of things. I mean, I'm being facetious by saying it invented all these things, but essentially, like any game that came after this that you would refer to as like, oh yeah, that's like Spider-Man or GTA, or that's like you're an assassin. It's kind of like GTA, or oh, the Simpsons made a GTA. It's like it really just made it so much fun. And to just have that sandbox experience, go get a car, drive around, do some tricks in the car, like a big jump, or get some cops coming after you, and just die and then do it again. And it really was that endless experience of just the sandbox game that, of course, we're so familiar with now. Think about just Spider-Man swinging through a city, or so many games like Watchmen, so many games like this, but it just really kind of ignited a new genre. So that's why I got to give it up to GTA 3.
Yeah,
Now-
it created a genre that became the most popular thing in the world.
Oh yeah, it's funny because you asked if it's on our list, and it's not on my list, but it is on a list of another series I made that I'm working on right now, and I'm doing a lot of research on it. And
The
that
most
is
influential games.
the top 100 most important games of all time.
Wow.
And let me tell you, GTA 3 is in the top 5.
Wow.
And
I believe it. Yeah,
I'll be honest with you guys. Like that list started with a thesis statement. I won't tell you what you guys know what the number one is, but I won't tell the audience. And that was like, will something while doing the research dethrone what I thought is like the most important game of all time? And with the way that like GTA 6 is coming out, and like nobody wants to touch the month of November, it made me go, it might dethrone the GTA 3 might dethrone my number one spot.
GTA 6.
Yeah. Because like sorry Gary.
Yeah.
But like my thesis on it is like GTA 6 it's so weird because I know we're talking about GTA 3, but with going on in our little world of video games, GTA 6, when you spell it out, when you're like, why it's so special, it sounds kind of dumb, doesn't it? Because we've been doing this song and dance for over 20 years, and it doesn't, when you say like what makes GTA 6 really special, it doesn't sound that special. But at the same time, everyone's going to be buying this game. And it's all because GTA 3 happened.
Mhm.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So GTA
And
3
I
is
think-
not the most important game, but you're saying GTA 6 will dethrone what is the most
No,
important game?
no. GTA 6 will not dethrone it. Like in the most important, it might get on the list now, but I'm saying, like GTA 3 might have dethroned, or definitely gotten a bit higher on my list of like most important games, because when you see the evidence for yourself on like nobody wants to touch November, and very few games are touching the month before it. People are that scared of this coming out near that thing. It's insane to me.
Yeah.
And GTA 6 might be like it might hit your list, and it's going to go down in history books. But I think for all negative reasons.
Oh,
You know, it is changing the industry in a very negative way.
if this game is a dud, it's going to be hilarious. If
Another cyberpunk moment.
yeah, if it comes out,
but way bigger. Yeah.
if it comes out janky as shit, it's going to. I'm gonna laugh. But Kevin's right. Like the funny thing is, if it follows the hype and it comes out and there's not a lot of bugs, it plays smoothly, it looks good, and like something about the gameplay is like just amazing. Unfortunately, it is going to be like Fortnite all over again, where yeah, I could see like the giant companies learning no fucking lessons, and they're like, we need to make our own GTA 6. And
I think one of the reasons that makes GTA 3 so important is like that feeling of being an avatar, like controlling an avatar, your
Yeah.
character. And it's the same as like why Fortnite and Breath of the Wild or Horizon Zero Dawn, name anything. It's like you still have that perspective, and you just feel like, okay, I'm controlling a character, but I feel like I can embody that character, and that feeling of just that third person action perspective is such a it is video games to so many people, and it all came from this GTA 3. But
yeah,
we'll see if GTA 6 dethrones the most important game of all time on your list, which I can only assume is 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
yeah. I mean, you nailed it. But going back to the actual conversation of GTA 3, you were talking about the sandboxiness of it, and like it's hard to remember, but like people dropped in tanks in this game as cheat codes. The cheat codes really made the sandbox portion of this game run absolutely wild.
I think that's mostly how I played.
Yeah. Some people didn't give a shit about the story whatsoever. They're like, once we get to a certain point where like, yeah, you can just do whatever the hell you want in this game, you do exactly that. You do whatever the fuck you want in this game. You just troll cops all day long. And a lot of people just had fun doing that. It's so weird at how important and good this game is, and I don't even play GTA games.
Yeah,
the game loop.
Yep.
Kevin, do you have any thoughts?
Well, like even though I never played GTA 3, I still recognize like how important it is and how great it was, just because it created a genre that created more and more games. And as popular as GTA 5 was and like San Andreas was, I know that GTA 3 really was the birth of like the open world sandbox.
Hey, let's get this out of here. God knows what it is, but he seems to want it badly enough, so it must be worth something.
Who the heck?
You!
Hey, take it easy, amigo. No es nada, no es nada.
I left you pouring your heart out into the gutter!
Hey, don't shoot, amigo. No problem. We all friends. Here,
Don't be
take
such a
this.
pussy!
Hey, we got no choice, baby.
We always got a choice, you dumb bastard.
Well, let's finally move away from GTA 3 and move on to number 88. And I think I will go first this round. And I'm curious if this is higher on anybody's list. We even mentioned it last episode. My number 88 is Astrobot.
God damn it! I forgot to put Astrobot on my list.
Oh, really?
It is higher on my list.
It is?
Yes, it is.
Okay. I had a feeling it'd be like, this has to be higher on somebody's list, right? Okay.
There are going to be those moments.
And just to be fair,
Yeah.
we are talking about the PS5 one, right? Not the VR or like the latest release.
Astrobot, period. Not Astrobot.
Not Astro's Playroom. Like
Astro's
Not
Playroom.
Astro's
that's the one.
Playroom or
Yeah.
Rescue Mission.
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Yeah.
Let's just say yes.
Okay. Okay. Good.
no, I know there are going to be those moments where like, oh no, I forgot to put Ocarina of Time on my list. It like that's an example. I didn't forget that game, but there are going to be games that we forgot to put on our list, and can be like, ah, damn it, my list is locked in now. What am I going to do? And we'll figure that out as we go. But I'll admit, like, even right now, that like I'm sure I forgot something.
Yeah.
And honestly, like knowing that it's both on both of our lists, we're going to be able to talk about it. You'll be able to talk about it when we talk
Yeah.
about it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's go with Gary. What is your number 88?
all right. Well, if GTA 3 is a game where you're in the city knocking people out, my 88 is Knockout City.
Oh, this
So
was
this-
such a cool game.
Yeah, this is really like a genre of game that's like that kind of party rumble fun game that you like. You haven't played a game before this, so everyone that's playing this game is learning it. You know, it's a brand new mechanic, and it's essentially a dodgeball game, a 3-on-3 dodgeball game that had a lot of verticality in the maps. And I'm using past tense to describe it because this is a game that unfortunately is no longer playable online. I think there's some offline servers with some dedicated fans and some discords that are playing it. But I had this game on Switch and PS4.
I didn't know it was
And-
on Switch. I thought it was only on PlayStation.
No, I played it on both, and I love this game. And played it a bunch on I think it was summer of 2021. I want to say, maybe fall of 2020. But it was just such a fun game to get into. You know, dodgeball mechanics where you're trying to get the other player, get the other team out, but you can also catch a ball if someone's throwing it at you. So it's a really fun mechanic that way, and yeah, just really fun arcade style. But it's also on this list as a nod to this industry that we all love, and how a great game that so many people love can just be gone in a poof in just a couple of years because of live service and the craziness the crazy demands that actually lie behind what needs to happen to keep a game alive. So pour one out for Knockout City.
I was going to say, I almost debated on like a moment of silence for Knockout City when you mentioned it.
Yeah.
Kevin, did you play Knockout City?
No, I never got around to it. And then when they announced the servers were closing, I was thinking like, well, it's too late for me. And also just I'm not very good at like online shooters and stuff. And at the time it came out, I kind of saw it as just another online shooter, but this time with dodgeballs instead of guns. And I didn't give it enough attention. And then I felt like by the time I was ready to give it attention, it was too late.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I very much enjoyed this game because it was like part platformer, part dodgeball, and like who doesn't like dodgeball?
Mm-hmm.
Except for the kid that just always gets hit. I'm sure that kid hates dodgeball.
Have either of you guys played that recent Double Fine game Kiln, the pottery multiplayer online brawler?
No, I
No,
have not.
No.
I think that Knockout City is on my list because I was recently reminded of it because I played Kiln for just a couple weeks and I really liked it, and it was just just that kind of game where had fun for a couple weeks and funded little rounds and party game, but then walked away from it. And I really thought, you know what, this reminds me of Knockout City, just like a fun time. And also Double Fine has some industry stories right now, going back to independent. And just thinking about this industry and like little games like this, and I want them to be able to exist also.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kevin, what is your number 88?
Okay, so let me go back to my list because I got diverted for a second. But going back to my list for number 88, I absolutely want to talk about the game that was like a special one for me. That this is like the first. Wait a second. Oh, I miscounted. Okay, no, 88 actually. This is the launch PS3 game MotorStorm.
I was going to say, if you're going to say layer, you're kicked off this fucking podcast.
Wow.
Oof. Okay. Made by Factor 4.5, right? MotorStorm was something very special, and I feel like this was an excellent showpiece for what the tech was doing at the time. And also, this is an example of a game being greater than the sum of its parts, where what if I were to just look at this game as like each element of this game individually, I would not be that interested in it. But when I got my hands on the demo for this on my roommate's PS3 at the time, I tried this out and I was like, my God, this is incredible. Because you are racing not just cars, but you're racing a variety of vehicles all together on a track. And so there's that. Like, it's not just simple racing.
Very like Mad Max, yeah.
Yeah. It is a mashup of racing, and the closest thing that you can use to describe it is like Baja racing, which is illegal in the United States because it's so damn dangerous. But it was Baja racing in the desert, and a bunch of vehicles all racing together. And when you crash, it is extremely violent, and parts go flying everywhere in slow motion. It is just a huge spectacle. And the soundtrack is killer, and the soundtrack is not something that I would listen to on a regular basis. But when you hear this while you're playing the game, it adds a ton of character to just what you're playing. So there's that. It being out in the desert it's pretty much just one environment, and there's not a lot of variety in terms of like your environment of racing, but it still is a ton of fun. And there are certain tracks that are like really muddy. There are other tracks that are full of dust and you can't see exactly where other racers are just because they're kicking up dust everywhere. There's like one track that is up on top of a giant mesa, and it's really hard to just stay on the track, and like it's really easy to just crash. Also, it's really easy to crash anywhere on this track, and every time you do, it is spectacular. So this was one of the this was like Burnout out off-roading, and that was just fantastic. So
yeah, that's
either one of you played
slow
MotorStorm?
motion crashes reminded me of when you said that. I've not played it. I'm looking at it now. I went from PS1, PS2 to 360, then to PS4 and PS5. So did not own a PS3. Played plenty of them, of friends' PS3s, but yeah, this game looks fun.
Yeah. Jordan, how about you?
I played a little bit of it. It was at a game store that made me go, okay, I really want to have my own PS3, and they had it. And I really liked it, but the game that made me want a PS3 was Resistance: Fall of Man.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That's
and like that was the launch shooter, and that one was good too. And I had a good time with it. But MotorStorm has, like, I loved it so much that I burned the soundtrack just to listen to in my car. And I started to love the music that was in it. But I think without playing the game, I wouldn't have loved the music as much as I did. And I started listening to other tracks by those artists that are on it, and I didn't really jive with them. But the soundtrack itself is something that was really special to me. And also the intro to the game that you can look up on YouTube lives rent-free in my head. And I could start reciting it, where like they got the guy that does a lot of movie previews to do the narration for this. And it's really weird and epic. If you don't know what the game is and you just watch the trailer, you think it's going to be like some weird apocalypse movie or like action movie.
Are you talking about the guy who like smokes 100 packs a day? That iconic voice that we haven't heard in a long time. Oh,
in this ancient valley, beneath these
in
ancient
a world.
rocks.
Yeah, we don't have that guy anymore. Instead, now we have like minor key pop songs that are slowed down.
Yeah. But I just love that moment where like he's like a new breed of warrior has been born to rage against the silence. Welcome to MotorStorm.
Yeah, we can't nail his voice at all.
I want to take you on a roller coaster.
Man, did you drive dangerously with that soundtrack?
Not with that song, but when Big Red Rocket of Love came on with Reverend Horton Heat, I suddenly was going 20 miles above the speed limit. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah.
Kevin,
I'm curious, going back to GTA 6, like what that's going to do to people's driving habits.
Can I let you guys in on a little secret? As an Uber driver, you can hear buttholes clench when you suddenly hear approximately crouched at the starting line. pumping
in time. The green light flashes, the flies go
because
up,
they know
turning
what's
burning
about to happen.
From the cup.
That's funny.
All the passengers know what's about to happen. They're like, "Oh shit, he has to go fast." It's in the
he's going the distance. He's going for speed. She's all alone.
And the gamers just shit their pants when they hear, yeah. They know.
Well, they know you're going to get them there on time, right?
Yeah.
Crazy taxi.
Yeah.
They start tipping you, yeah.
Kevin, do a double and tell me your number 87.
Oh, shit, I'm not ready. Oh, no.
Tough.
No, a little behind the scenes here. So, like, my list is just, like, I pick out a range of, like, here's what my like, 90 to 81 is going to be, but I don't order them. And so, like, on the fly, it's like, oh, okay, so next up is going to, like, throw a dart. But, okay, so I'm going to go with, for number 87, is Killer 7.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
Okay, so
really?
Killer 7 was one of the Capcom 5 that were announced for the GameCube back in the early aughts. And Capcom had planned, like, hey, we're going to support the GameCube by developing 5 exclusive games for them. And they're going to be, let's see, like I can name them all off. They were Resident Evil 4, Killer 7, Project Number 3, or PNO3, and then Beautiful Joe, and the 5th one was Dead Phoenix. And of those 5, only 4 of them came out. Dead Phoenix was canceled before it was released. But the other 4, Resident Evil 4, eventually was not exclusive, and it went to PlayStation 2. So did Beautiful Joe. So did Project Number 3, and so did Killer 7. So all those exclusives gone from GameCube. But all of those games were of varying quality. I think Beautiful Joe had a really big cult following when it came out. It also got a sequel. But Killer 7 was one that was weird and definitely like kind of out there. This was one of Suda51's very first games. And he directed it still and wrote it. But the premise is that you are playing as a character who has multiple personality disorder and has 7 separate serial killers inside of him. And they are all members of a secret agency that assassinates people. And so you have to go through a level and hunt down a target and find them and kill them. And each one of these different personalities that you can change into has different forms of shooting something. And like they all have different guns to play with and special attacks, whatever. One character, though, has throwing knives instead of guns. And so you like run around to this area, and it's an on-rails game. So you don't choose what direction you run. You either run forward or backward. And you can come to junctions and turn left or turn right. You make choices that way and explore the map in that way. But you still only move forward or backward down corridors. There are other enemies for you to shoot, and you often have to hit their weak points to do damage to them. If they get too close to you, then they explode and kill your character. And if your character dies, they drop right there, and you have to run back and as another character and pick up their body and bring them back to a save point. Very much like Dark Souls, but with just like your character that you want to save. And if you get killed by another enemy, but before you get back there, then now you've lost 2 characters that you have to try and rescue. This is a really weird game. It is like got a very different graphic style too. It's cell shaded, and so it looks kind of odd, especially for the time that it came out. But it is just one of the weirdest games that I've played, and still one of the coolest ones. Unfortunately, it hasn't been remastered, and I really wish it would get remastered. Last year when I was at PAX, I ran into one of the developers of Grasshopper. That was the studio that made the game, and she said, "Yeah, we can't get the rights to remaster it, unfortunately. So it is like stuck in limbo under Capcom right now."
Yeah, it's kind of sad because I really want to play this game in full. I only remember bits and pieces, like watching someone play it way back in the day. But from what I did see, and like later on, it is like, man, I wish Capcom would just give the rights to Suda, so like we can see the character of many characters go against like Travis Touchdown or something. It'd be a really awesome thing to do.
Yeah.
This is cool.
The art style.
I like the art style. Yeah.
The art style is definitely the same kind of thing that you see in No More Heroes, but the gameplay I liked in this a little bit more than No More Heroes.
Yeah, great game, and you're just finding out about this game for the first time, right, Gary? So I imagine you just like, yeah, it looks cool, right?
Yeah, exactly. But
another weird game from my museum.
I've actually played it in the last 3 minutes, and it's amazing.
Gary, what is your number 87?
So actually, my number 87, funnily enough, is a game that I haven't played, or at least not played very much of. But it is impossible to denounce its influence, and that is Pokemon Fire Red.
Oh, I am going to stop you.
All right.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Luckily,
totally
not
fine.
for long. But
happy to talk about Pokemon later on. This is the only Pokemon
Yeah.
on my list, but we'll talk about Pokemon later.
Yeah, in just a bit. My number 87 is Everybody's Golf.
Hey, amazing.
Hey,
Yeah, golf games are fine and all. They can be fun. Like, a lot of people do enjoy Mario Golf and whatnot. But I think this was the one that just really hit home for me. RIP to the servers. You can no longer play this game online. It first came out for the PS4. It was part of the series called Hot Shots Golf. It's called Everybody's Golf Overseas. And they just were like, let's drop the Hot Shots, put Everybody's on the title. And this is just a really awesome golf game. My only gripe, besides the servers no longer being on, is that this is one of the few games I tried to platinum. And Kevin, I've talked about I almost never platinum games.
Yeah,
but this one was bugged. I did some trick shots that you have to do, and the trophy never popped, and they're really hard to do. But Everybody's Golf, you get a bunch of golf courses. You slowly move up the ranks. You are able to challenge people. You're able to make your own avatar. Everyone looks kind of cute and whatnot. The sceneries of these games are absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of weird having this cartoonish thing in a realistic setting, but it kind of works really well. I remember the canyon golf course along with the beach, the middle of the mountains. You're very plain first golf course that's just nothing but green and plains, and there's not a lot going on. Even that one still looks really cool. And some of these courses get insane, especially the DLC ones. Have you guys ever played this game at all?
No, I've not played this golf game, but I have another golf game on my list.
Oh, nice.
I have played Everybody's Golf VR.
Really?
Yeah, I think I only played it once or twice. It wasn't the best, or at least not the best on PSVR. It's a great series, and I've very much enjoyed watching Kinda Funny play it.
Yeah, I always wanted to actually challenge Greg to this game, but I guess I can no longer do that.
It's with Knockout City and that sweet server farm in the sky.
Yeah. You win this one, Greg, but there is always a Mario Golf. I will crush you one day. I will loop it around and go a double and talk about my number 86, going way back to the Sega Genesis. Mickey Mouse and the World of Illusion. Yeah, a lot of people have heard Mickey Mouse and the Castle of the Illusion. This is its sequel. This is the one I got, and this one also has Donald Duck in it. And this game, I remember which game was. Oh yeah, Tiny Toon Buster's Hidden Treasure. I talked about that last episode, and I said how pretty that game looks. This game looks better. This game looks very much like Disney had a hand in all the environments and shit. You look like you're playing an old Mickey Mouse cartoon. They also you start off in some place that is reminiscent of Wonderland, but I don't think it's quite that. The story is kind of bizarre. Mickey and Donald were doing a magic show, and they find a weird portal that transports them into a strange magical world. And the famous vanishing trick most magicians did, where they would put a cape over something and then voila, it's gone or transformed in something else. Well, you do that motion to hurt your enemies. It's kind of interesting. You just quickly waft a cape over them, and they would turn into a butterfly or something. It was
That's cool.
Yeah, it's a real kid-friendly game, and it's really not that hard. It was really great for kids' first platformer or whatever. But the environments and the soundtrack and just how everything looked and played, it was so gorgeous looking, so tight, and they really like explored that imaginative wonder that like old Disney really had back in the day.
Mhm.
Very interesting game. Are either of you two familiar with it at all?
No, I'm just looking it up here on YouTube, and it makes me think like this is a Kingdom Hearts game before Kingdom Hearts was a thing.
Yeah.
Where like they go through a bunch of Disney sort of like Disney themed worlds where like you spot like you're fighting the cards from Alice in Wonderland, or you're like going through and like as like Mickey and Donald you're like climbing up a tree in the Jungle Book. So you're doing stuff that is in the other Disney properties.
You don't. Yeah, the weird thing is they don't call them out by name, but you definitely are like, oh, this looks like Little Mermaid, and the boss for that is literally the giant shark that gave kids nightmares from the Little Mermaid. But they also have unique stuff. Like there's a world made of it out of candy, and it's just really awesome to go through. And it's kind of a weird side area that you need to play, I think, only as Donald in order to get. And you can play it co-op too, which is really great. It had great replay value because like a couple of levels like it's Mickey only, and like some are Donald only, and some are like you only get this level if you play together. So it had really great replay value. Like one of my favorite tracks on this is a weird, almost again Alice in Wonderland-esque, but it's like a very it plays with astrology. It's so hard to describe. I'm gonna like put this in the music for you guys to listen to later on in the clip, but yeah, if you guys are like looking for hidden gem platformers of the Sega Genesis area, I would check out Mickey Mouse and the World of Illusion.
Now this is pretty cool.
Yeah. Kevin, what is your 86?
Number 86. Okay, so this one comes with a story, but my number 86 is shout out to my younger brother Tim, but 86 is Free Space 2. Either one of you know what Free Space 2 is, or the Free Space series?
I know Free Space and Bingo.
Free Space was it was a game that was only on PC, and it was back in the late 90s, and it was pretty much like Star Wars TIE Fighter, or
I was going to say this looks like Wing Commander.
Yeah. You fly out in space in 3D, and you choose a ship, and you fly it, and you take missions and go out and find stuff. Free Space 2 is the sequel, and this had like one of the coolest moments that I've ever played in a game, or like a sequence of moments. So first time I played it, I was like, okay, cool, I'm flying around. Oh, look, there's a giant ship. Oh, they're my allies, cool. And then like some other rival ship shows up, and they start trading messages over comms that you can overhear, and they start bickering with each other, or like they get into a verbal dispute about their territory, and then they start firing lasers at each other. And I was dumb enough to just be flying in between the two of them, and got shocked by one of their lasers. And these lasers are they're not like the blaster bolts that you see in Star Wars, where you see the bolt traveling. No, it is just an instantaneous beam of light and a loud buzzing sound if you're close enough to it, but it is frightening and dangerous. That gives you an idea of like the sense of scale that you'll get in Free Space. But
I'm looking through screenshots of this game, and this captures that weird era of PC games. Like we were talking about GTA 3 and the sandboxiness of it. it's kind of hard to remember, but like PC games had this weird, you can do almost anything you want in certain games,
Yeah.
like Vampire the Masquerade, Deus Ex Machina. There was a weird freedom to a
Mhm.
lot of those early PC games, and this screams that.
Yeah.
I just spent
This
a few
game-
minutes after looking at this game trying to find a game that I remember that it reminded me of, and it's called Terminal Velocity. Have either of you heard of Terminal Velocity? Anyways,
No.
it's just what you described.
Yeah.
It's a flying game on PC in like 1995, but you can just do anything. You just fly around and shoot stuff. Like,
So this game had a level editor, and I tried to make my own levels very unsuccessfully. But the coolest thing that this game had was that sense of scale, where like you're this tiny little pilot ship flying amongst massive capital ships that are fighting other capital ships, and so you'll see their lasers like shoot off into the distance. And I think this was in this game they introduced the idea of flying through nebulas or like giant cloud storms, and so your visibility is not going to be great sometimes, and you're going to be like flying through fog, and it's of various colors. But the one time that this definitely like made me feel very small was I was playing in an area that was a very dense nebula, and I was just like following a signal that they said, "Hey, go out and check this out. We're getting a weird reading here." And you follow the beacon out into this nebula, and you can't see anything in front of you. But all of a sudden, there's this giant dolphin-shaped arc of a thing coming out of the cloud, and it just narrowly missed my ship as it flew to the side of me. And I was like, what the hell was that? Oh my God. And then another one came from behind and narrowly missed me on the other side. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? What is going on? And you realize like, oh, this is a giant ring gate that like other alien capital ships are using to invade from another dimension into ours. And you have to stop this invasion. And that's like the big arc of the game. But you get this idea that like, oh, there's like this giant thing out in space, and I'm just like some tiny little fighter ship that is trying to hold the line against this invasion, and things are going crazy. A couple of missions later, you're out in like wide open space, kind of minding your own business, and you're told to go check out this other location because they're getting another weird signal from like way off in the distance. And so you like turn your ship to target this direction, this area, and just the resolution on the screen is like, it's okay for the 90s. Like, you're looking at a computer monitor, so it's not high def, but definition on monitors was better than TVs at the time. And out in the distance, I was like, that's really weird that those stars, like those 4 stars, are moving in a ring shape. Oh my God. Like, tiny little ring way out in that's a hell of a long way to go for me to reach there. But the engine is like designed to render the rings way out there, and if I wanted to go there, I could get there, and it would take me about an hour of playing and blasting my engines at full blast just to get there. But the idea that the space that they've engineered in Free Space 2 to allow the construction of these things that are way far away from you is incredible. And like these are like giant things that are just so far away, but you could still go there.
Yeah.
If you wanted.
Sadly, this was published by Interplay, which is long defunct.
Yeah.
So I don't think we'll ever get a remake of this, which is sad because it looks really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you could probably find this on like Abantopia or some abandonware site.
I'm looking at it on Steam right now.
Yeah. Yeah, you could still get it
it's
on
like
Steam,
$25 for this game, though.
It's worth it. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go check it out on YouTube. Also, it's got some cool stuff.
Gary, what is your 86?
My number 86 is a game called Mortal Kombat 2.
You know what's really funny? This originally was on my list, and then I changed it the other day.
Okay.
So,
So this is a game, and oh, sorry, I forgot to specify it. This is Mortal Kombat 2, but specifically the arcade box that was at the takeout diner that my family used to grab food at, because that's how this game was played. It was the quintessential arcade box game. There's a reason that when they remade Last of Us for HBO, and they put that portion of the game, the portion of the Left Behind DLC where Ellie is playing this kind of like generic arcade game, and it's like this super special experience. And in the show, they made it Mortal Kombat 2 because HBO made the show and they actually had the Warner Brothers rights. But anyways, that's the point, is that it's like it does invoke that feeling, and it's just this amazing amazing fighting game. I was actually probably more of a Street Fighter kid, but the idea that Mortal Kombat 2 also had this really innovative way that they captured the sprites and the video, like actual stunt performers. I know I'm imagining Kevin's gonna jump in here and give the history lesson, but it's like, such an amazing game at the time where you actually look like you were playing a video, and those characters, Liu Kang, Raiden, all of the early ones, they were there, and it just felt a lot different than video games did at the time. And like I said, especially on those old school arcade boxes.
They would, how they did it is they photographed the actors and then had them perform the moves and stuff, and they did video capture, and then they would take specific frames of that video and use those like still images to then create the character models in the game. And so, like, yes, you were seeing actual actors perform these moves and do certain things.
I have a funny story about Mortal Kombat 2. You know how you're young and dumb
Story
and
time.
You don't know the world. Like, I must have been 7 or 8 when this game came out, and when you grow up as like a white kid in like small town Kansas, and the internet, I don't have the internet yet. I don't even have cable. So Kung Lao, I didn't read him as Asian because, like, to me, names, I was really bad with names back in the day, and I wouldn't recognize that as an Asian name. I thought Kung Lao was a Mexican cowboy. I thought he was wearing a poncho and a sombrero.
This is why cultural exposure is important, people.
Yeah.
Because I knew what a poncho and a sombrero was, and because of, like, it does look really good. But
You're talking about Raiden, by the way.
No, I'm talking about Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant Liu Kang. Okay, yeah.
No.
Kung Lao. Yeah.
It's funny because my thought process on Raiden was like, why is he wearing a karate outfit? He looks kind of dumb on him. And with the original game, Kano to me was like just the Terminator.
Yeah, of course.
That's exactly who they ripped that off of. Like, oh yeah, like I can't remember your name, but you're the guy based off the Terminator.
That's exactly it. Like, they based like him off the Terminator. They based Johnny Cage off of Tom Cruise. Like they were going for specific caricatures.
Yeah, Liu Kang was definitely Jet Li or Jackie Chan. Yeah. Which I still call that flying kick a Liu Kang kick, Yeah. Very, very much inspiring and influential game.
Was it Jackie Chan, do you think, or was it Bruce Lee?
It's more Bruce Lee.
Oh, did I say Jet Li? I meant Bruce Lee.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think the world really was familiar with Jet Li
Right,
yet, or at
yeah.
least here in the West.
Right? Yeah. No,
Um,
you're correct.
But
But that Hong Kong action.
Well, it's funny that we're talking about all these tropes and whatnot. One of the magical things that makes Mortal Kombat really special is like it was a video game as video game. It was like, what if we took Enter the Dragon and made it a video game? Well, what does that mean? Like, well, let's add like the most stereotypical fantasy elements. Like, we got to have ninjas involved, right? Absolutely. And it was so easy at the time, like, to understand the language of Mortal Kombat. And then you get the entire fatalities and like
Finish
blood.
him, fatality, which also is a very interesting kind of thing in a video game as video game, and the idea of like it's almost a cheat code embedded in the game,
Yeah.
entering in a stratagem almost, if you want to talk about Helldivers 2 lingo, but like it's so interesting to be like, okay, if you know it, you know it, and even if you know it, it's still like up, down, left, right, up, down, diagonal, left, A B. It's really hard to do, so always so rewarding when you did.
Yeah. I fucking love this game so much. But
It was great when you entered the blood code like on Genesis, and
oh yeah,
you feel like you feel like you're like totally breaking the rules, and you're like, yeah, I'm being a bad kid right now. Like I got blood in my game.
But in Mortal Kombat 2, there was no blood code because they just let you have the blood. They're like, okay. Even on
that's
the,
right. Yeah.
On the Nintendo version, they're like, okay, yeah, we can't lose too many cells. You know what you're in for.
Yeah.
Fucking blood.
This is the only Mortal Kombat on my list, so I will give out a shout out to. Oh shoot! It just popped out of my mind. It was the brothers one. It's like the co-op game you played with Liu Kang and Kung Lao.
Oh, funny you should mention that.
Is it on your list?
It is. It is exactly what I replaced Mortal Kombat 2 with.
All right. Well, we'll get to it then. I have a story about that. So
yeah.
Glad I mentioned it. All right. Well, that's my 86.
Jordan, you do.
Okay, I do. Gary, it's time to talk about Pokemon.
There we go.
Because you said Pokemon Red, right?
Yes.
My number 85 is Pokemon Yellow.
Okay. And remind me, this is the same as Red and Blue?
So it is their 1.5 version of Red and Blue.
Right. When they realized that Pikachu was their mascot.
Yeah, when they realized Pikachu was their mascot. I loved Pokemon, but I wasn't able to get my hands on a Pokemon game until Yellow came out. I wanted to really badly. My birthday and everything was lined up nowhere near by the time the craze happened, and I had no money. So I was unable to get one until Pokemon Yellow get it out. And I'm glad I waited, because that's the version you don't just get Pikachu as a starter. You can eventually get all three starters instead of having to choose one. It's the best version out of the original Gen 1 trilogy. The funny thing about Pokemon, though, is it's a series I kind of fell out of love with by the time Gen 2 got around.
Mm-hmm.
The competitive nature was getting really bland, in my opinion, and now the competitive nature is like very insane. They got so many rules and shit, because otherwise people would just be tossing out legendaries all the time. And I loved the anime a lot back in the day. But one of the things that I also loved about it also made me go, okay, I'm starting to get away from this. And that's like, I wanted Ash to actually win a gym battle without some Team Rocket bullshit. It's funny because I even dressed as James for Halloween one year, and I loved him to death. But it was like, I want to see an actual Pokemon battle without them interfering. They just couldn't help themselves.
Funny story about Ash from the anime. I was at Fan Fusion, which is like a Comic-Con type thing here in Phoenix, just a couple months ago. And we went into a hall just to like sit down and get some air conditioning and charge our phones and stuff. And we're like, I don't know what event is going on here next. And then when it started, it was the voice actor for Ash and like her interview. And we're like, oh, cool. We just like sat there for a minute for the first 10 minutes or so, and then we left. But it was very cool to just like stumble upon something like that without even planning on it. And she was very, very cool. Obviously, the English voice actor.
So, Gary, why do you love Pokemon Red?
So, I didn't play this much at the time. Had friends that had it on Game Boy, and actually, this is right around the time where I was living in Hawaii in my early childhood and the late like 7 or 8 years old around this time. And then I moved actually to Asia. I was in Southeast Asia and Bangkok, and all of a sudden Pokemon was everywhere. And like, it was popular. Like, my friends that played video games were playing it in Hawaii, but it wasn't the phenomenon that it was already in Asia, where people were already trading the cards and everything. And so I was like familiar with it, but never played the game. However, the reason I have it here on my list is because I did go back and play it a bit on ROMs. I want to say like maybe 2002, like kind of found it a very chill game to play on a big screen on a computer on just like a keyboard, and be able to fast save, when you can with an emulator.
Oh yeah.
But save scum, but I also just realized, like, in the years since, I've never really, other than maybe Pokemon Stadium, which I kind of just find an extension from like the Pokemon games at the time. But this is Gen 1 is like my 150 Pokemon. Like, I love those characters. And so it's on my list, not as a game, but as like one of the biggest IPs in the world. And specifically this Gen 1 that started it all, and these characters in Gen 1 are my faves. So that's why it's here, because I love a lot of these characters. Like, I was like sexy Ghastly for Halloween one year.
It's funny you say like the 151 originals, right? Because I could name you all the originals, all the 151 on fucking site. After that, I could probably do about 20 more.
I have an artist friend who made stencils of these for all 151 that you could spray paint and like put graffiti around a city, and it was
sick.
So cool. It's just, dude, these characters are so cool. Yeah.
Dude, it sounds like you have some memories with Pokemon, Kevin.
Well, my younger brother, shout out Tim again, he did have a copy of Pokemon. I never got into it. My best friend at the time, when it was coming out, was into it. But just because of the cultural zeitgeist at the time, I knew what Pokemon was, and I could name all 150 for you. Years later, I can't do that anymore, but I could still recognize, like, oh yeah, that was an original 150 right there.
And that's what's on my list for a game that I haven't played. To still like love the character, it's just such an amazing thing. Yeah. So yeah, biggest IP in the world, I think, right?
Yeah.
Now
Pokemon's insane.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap, on the other hand, I did play, and it was like, okay, this is great, and that's probably how I got to know most of the names and like forms of Pokemon. But
Pokemon Snap almost made my list. Shout out to that game. I absolutely love it.
It was so good.
And it was, of course, fun coming back to Pokemon Go when everyone did that. And
yeah.
Yeah. You'd find like a Zubat, and I named him Johnny after my friend Johnny Zubak, who was in a metal band at the time. It's like, this is perfect.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I'll mention real quick, because I'm sure these games are on our list, but with Super Smash Bros., like Pokemon is just such a big part of that game too, not just in the playable characters, but in the Pokeballs, and just having familiarity. Just that time period was great.
I love playing Green Ninja and Smash along with Mewtwo. I think they're really fun. Kevin, what is your 85?
My 85 is going to be one of the best stories that I've had the chance to talk about recently, and that is Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Did you do a PlayStation podcast on that one?
Yes. Yeah. So we did one a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Yeah, and if you haven't played this game, Gary, Jordan, or anyone listening, if you haven't played this game, you can get either the original version that was released on PS3, there's another version on PS4, and they did a remake for PS5. Now, if you play the remake, it will give you the option to play it with alternative controls, and I feel like playing it with alternative controls and like not how it was meant to be played, and the effect that the game creates is lost. So you're meant to play this game with one controller, and you control a pair of brothers walking around. You're trying to solve puzzles to get from one place to another, and one brother is controlled with the left thumbstick and one of the shoulder buttons, and that's your action button. The other brother's controlled with the other thumbstick and another shoulder button. So you're controlling two characters at once. And it is like one of the most unique puzzle games that I've played. It is from Joseph Fares, and he made It Takes Two, Split Fiction, A Way Out, but this game preceded all of those. And this is a very unique puzzle game that tells a very interesting fantasy story. And again, like, I'm not ashamed to admit it, this game made me cry. And even just trying to tell my wife what happens in the game made me cry. Yeah. It is
Are you
so emotionally moving.
The modern controls do away with that conceit?
Yes. And that's because you can play it co-op. And playing it co-op defeats the purpose of the game, because you're supposed to control both these brothers at the same time.
There is a lot of DNA of Joseph Fares and his studio in this game, because like the rest are co-op games, but you do control it. I'm sure co-op was written on the board when they first made this game.
I can see a little bit of It Takes Two in this,
Yeah. I'm warning you guys right now. If you haven't played this game, we're gonna spoil it, because I feel like we have to talk about what makes this game really special.
So hold on. Like, Gary, have you played it at all?
No, I haven't. It rings a bell, and probably in conversations on podcasts about It Takes Two and Split Fiction. So like, no, I'd love to play a game where you're controlling two characters on two sticks. But I also am someone who always like looks up spoilers beforehand. It doesn't bother me. So go ahead.
Okay.
So like, I'm not gonna spoil exactly what happens in the game. But
I am.
Okay, Jordan, go ahead.
This is your warning now. Skip ahead about 4 minutes or so. Near the end of the game, when you have like played with both of these brothers, and you just it's kind of muscle memory. It's in your literal thumbs. One of the brothers dies. And it's heartbreaking, because this is one of the unique cases where mechanics make you really fucking feel it.
Right, because
'cause
one of
you
your
are-
thumbs doesn't do anything.
Yeah, one of your thumbs is
Yeah.
doing nothing, and it's the entire.
Fuck.
Yeah,
The-
it's right in the feels.
I
This
honestly
game-
would have guessed that after Kevin said he cried. And I was like, okay,
Yeah.
so the younger brother does. But man,
No,
Oh.
because like the younger brother is on the right stick, and traditionally, how like I always play games, and how almost everybody plays games is they move with their left hand, and so when you're playing with both characters, it something feels off whenever you play and have to do something with the younger brother because you're using your right thumb, and so it forces you to get used to using both hands and both thumbs to move the character. But still, just something feels really off whenever you're trying to move the younger brother on the right stick because it's just different. So then, when the older brother dies and the younger brother is left to bury his older brother, you have to physically do all of that still using your right stick. The left hand is completely void, like you don't do anything with that for the rest of the game. And just the fact that you still have to play the game and do everything with your right hand feels wrong. And that is that's what grief really feels like. You can't ignore this. No matter what you do, everything you do feels wrong because you are not able to function the way you want to and the way you've known the world to work this whole time.
Yeah,
And now
it's
you have to
easier
do everything
combine
well.
with. Wow.
Yeah. And then
Man,
to get
video
back
games
home-
are powerful.
yeah.
Video
And
games are art.
then like on the way to get back home, the kid has to go through a little more, like just to get back home, and you have to get there without your brother, and the process of doing that is even more heartbreaking. In that, this younger kid, he's afraid of water and doesn't like to go in the water because he watched his mom drown, and so he's dealing with that kind of trauma as well from his childhood. So he's afraid to swim. And this whole time, as you're playing the game, the older brother just let the younger brother climb on his back, and you carry the younger brother through the water as you go. Now that he's almost home, he has to cross water, and it's not a long distance, but it is also not shallow, and so he has to swim. And the only way you can swim is by calling upon the memory of your older brother, and you have to swim with the left trigger.
Wow.
And that brings the spirit, not like it, you don't see the older brother at all, but it brings the memory of your older brother back to you as the player, and says
right now, just hearing
yeah, and it says that the younger brother is using what the older brother taught him to swim across the water to get home.
Yeah.
I'm an older brother. I probably shouldn't play this. I mean, I'm a younger brother. I probably shouldn't play this game.
I rated this game too damn low. I'm so sorry. I'm tearing up right now. But this game is incredibly powerful.
How long is it? How long of a game?
Like 5 hours.
Yeah, it ain't long at all.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Going back to non-spoiler territory. Gary, have we talked about your 85 yet?
Not yet. My
Okay.
85 is Star Trek Bridge Crew.
Oh.
This
Oh,
is
the
a
VR game.
Yes. And if any of you are ever went to Disneyland and went to the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, or you've seen videos of Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon ride, it's kind of like a VR version of that. Well, like a more expanded version, in that you all have different roles and you're commanding a ship. So one person's in the captain's chair, and you can see like some status boards and a bunch of information. One person's an engineer, and they're in charge of sending power from different parts of the ship, like to shields or to phasers, like to the weapons. One person's at helm and they're flying the ship, and then one person's at weapons, and they're firing phasers and lasers and stuff like that. And you are a 4-person bridge team in a full-on Star Trek bridge in a ship, and you are standing where you should be, and because it's VR, you have 2 hands. And this game did something really cool where it was one of the games that really utilized the finger sensor technology that was on some of these controllers. So you not only can you use the buttons to activate that are on these controllers, but it would be able to sense if you were pointing, and you can point at different people. And it was just such a fun game, like some of the most fun I had for hours and hours. A mission would be like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, but just like being able to replay them and expand, like keep going further but find more people. And it was just so fun to genuinely be in a space together where you're turning around and looking at each other and trying to do a mission together. And it's been so long, and man, this is kind of sucks that this is a theme of the episode, but it is no longer available, and because I just taken offline. But some of the most fun VR experiences I've had, and really had that promise of what social VR can be, which is just 4 of us actually doing a thing in a place together, and we're all doing something different, but they all relate to each other. And it's just a really fun experience.
Are either of you familiar with a game called Artemis?
It's similar to that. Yeah, I'm familiar.
Yeah. I played Artemis with some friends way back in the day, and it really is like the first PC bridge crew simulator, but like when laptops were still popular enough. This is a very, very simple game because they wanted you to play it on a laptop so you didn't trudge a PC everywhere. It was a bridge crew game where like you would get out 4 or 5 laptops, put this all on the same server, and each person is doing a different bridge crew job. Right. And the funny thing is the captain only looks at a screen and nothing else. They're barking orders, but they have like no controls in front of them. Meanwhile, you're like the engineer or I can't remember other positions, navigator, things like that. And you're doing one specific thing, and you're trying to do it super well while taking orders at the same time.
Yep. So Artemis Spaceship Bridge Simulator, I think is the full name, right? Yep. I've seen that being played at that same convention I was talking about earlier, where it's like 10 people with iPads at a game and on a table, and they say like new game starting every 2 hours on the hour or something, and you can come in and play. And it totally reminded me of Star Trek Bridge Crew. Star Trek Bridge Crew is basically a simplified version of that, but completely within the Star Trek IP. Oh, I forgot to mention, the best part about this is that when you're playing a game like this, and your tasks are, like put energy to phasers, or like shields up or something, and you need to communicate that task to another player, and they're there, and you're the command. You end up going engineer shields up, and you're like cosplaying as these Star Trek people, even if you're not a Trekkie, and you just realize like, oh my god, like just by the gameplay of how this is, we are like fully cosplaying in a Star Trek simulation, and it's so cool. So yeah, very much like Artemis Spaceship Bridge Simulator, which is much more of a sim version of this, but being inside the ship. And I think they even put out a different skin where you could be in like the Enterprise or the original. So it's like one of them where it's very retro and like flashy buttons around you and stuff. So
yeah,
it's so fun to be in that world, and to what you can make a similar one, but when you have the Star Trek IP to go off of, and all of that lingo and everything, you actually have Klingon ships that you're firing at. It makes it special.
Yeah. What did you play this on? Like what VR platform was this on?
PSVR.
Okay.
but it was available on Steam at the time.
Yeah.
I think it was crossplay. So actually, at the time, I remember I didn't have that finger pointing technology that the that the PC VR players had. But yeah, it's such a fun game.
Yeah.
Social VR is shout out to Social VR games.
The fun element of these games are the social inactivity. They're really fun.
Mhm.
Do you mind going again and telling us your number 84?
All right, 84 is NBA Street Volume 2. So this is one of the only sports games on my list, but NBA Street kind of was this new this new energy of arcade type sports games where we had NBA Jam and we had NFL Blitz and stuff in the 90s, but really these sports games were dominated by the main franchise game they had, like Madden or NBA 2K or NBA Live at the time. And so being able to have NBA Street, which really brought this kind of hip hop and street style to it, you're actually playing on street courts, you're doing tricks that give you bonus points, and it was so fun to have that, to bring in that culture into again early 2000s where this kind of culture was huge. Bringing it in was so special, and after NBA Street was a hit, NBA Street Volume 2 really was kind of the peak of this kind of era. And so I put it here for what it meant, like culturally, what it nailed in terms of like they had legends on there as well as current NBA players, and just that style. I think a lot of kids this age probably broke some noses trying to do some of these tricks. And I think I might have been one of those kids that tried to hit a basketball off of my friend's forehead to come back to me to then dunk, and like obviously didn't know what I was doing. So yeah, NBA Street Volume 2 I think represents the best of that era.
I don't really have much to say on this. It's one of those games that passed me by, but it kind of lingers on in like in a legendary status of like you had to play this game on the PS2, and I look at it and go, yeah, that looks like a really good time. I just get the vibes alone just by looking at it. I understand exactly what it's going for, and I totally understand why people are like in love with the NBA Street series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I never had the NBA Street games, but I had a few other of the other EA sport games, and it was a vibe that they were going for across games, and they were really going for like a lot of style, and it worked a lot of the time. So it was fantastic.
Yeah, I don't have it on my list, but NFL Street was also a franchise I really liked, and that was probably my favorite football game. So really fun.
Yeah.
Being able to just kind of see like where can we find the fun, not necessarily the realness, and just kind of like the style. So, and really heavily leaning into music with hip hop and that street style. So, the basketball hoops had chains on them. Fouling wasn't that big of a deal. There was an announcer on the side of the court that was like with a megaphone that was calling out what was going on and stuff. So just that vibe.
I'm just
Yeah.
picturing someone with a megaphone going, boom shakalaka.
Basically, yeah. Off to his A. So yeah, that's my 84. Sorry,
Yeah.
84.
We're going to talk about more EA Sports games at some point.
All right,
Nice.
looking forward to it. It's in the game.
Nope. Talking about the complete opposite of a sports game, my number 84 is Heroes of Might and Magic, the very first one.
Hey, nice.
Yeah, for those who are very aware of this series, I understand that 3 is like the best one, but this is the one I grew up with. So, totally recognize better games out there. This is just the one I had. Heroes of Might and Magic is one of the most interesting tactics games I've ever played in my entire life. It's like part town builder, part exploration, and then part tactics fighter. You literally have a bunch of campaign scenarios in this fantasy world where you have a hero and you can recruit more heroes, and they're able to travel a certain amount of distance on their horse per turn. And you have an objective like take out enemy players or take over another city or do it all in a certain amount of time. The first game is like really pixelated. They try to go for a more realistic look in the future, but this looks very cartoony and it's very simple. But I still very much love it. I got it for free. My uncle was like, "Hey, I'm not going to tell you I have the better games, but here's the first one. Just go ahead and take it." Like, okay.
Was this another? Well, I'm curious. Was this another PC DOS game?
No, it wasn't DOS. It was on CD, or
Okay.
it might have been on DOS earlier. I don't know.
I found video of one that is DOS, but it looks
Okay.
pretty advanced for a DOS game.
It was on the era where like they were transitioning from floppy disk to CD at the very least. Like I said,
Yeah.
I got the CD version. I played this with friends too. Like everyone who I show this game to is one of those like darlings of like, this game's really fucking cool, and I'm like, yeah, I know. And lately, I have gone back to the third one that everyone absolutely adores. They're finally going back to the series. There's a beta out for the latest game that I would like to try. But if you love tactics games and this series has just missed you, go back and figure out which one you probably would like the most. Go ahead and play it. Try it out. Heroes of Might and Magic. Awesome game. But it's getting a little late. Let's move on. Kevin, what is your 84?
So I'm probably going to break the rules with this, but I'm going to say the Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time trilogy.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I almost said this is on my list, but then you said different thing at the end. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, if you take away trilogy, it's on my list.
Oh, really?
Well, technically,
Okay.
then we should save that for later.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
All right.
We should. Kevin, do you want to go again then and tell us your 83?
83. Okay. How about Beyond Good and Evil?
Ooh, I'm replaying that right now, actually.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Yeah.
Beyond Good and Evil is it's a Zelda-like in a dystopian world where you're playing as a photographer and you're running around trying to solve a mystery of what's happening, and like there is like something nefarious going on with the government. So this game is all about fighting the power and weeding out corruption. The premise of it is pretty cool, where like there's like animals that talk to you and like have integrated themselves into society. So like your best friend is Paige, he's a pig, and there's a few elephants with Jamaican accents that run an auto shop that tune up
They're-
your vehicle. That
The rhinoceroses, good sir. I don't think the rhinos would like you to like species them like that.
okay, well, I'm sorry, it's been a long time since I played it, so like, but still, like, this game also has some of the best story twists that I've ever seen. So I will not allow you to spoil this, my good sir.
Okay.
But it is fantastic of the places it goes and what it does as far as like the story is. It's really cool, very innovative, and it's a shame that the sequel is rumored to just be an MMO and is in development hell.
Oh, no,
I don't
I'm
think it's
helping-
coming out.
I'm helping make it.
Yeah. That trailer, it looks really good, but oh man,
Yeah.
I don't think.
But this game, like Jordan,
Yeah.
what do you like about the game so far?
So, it's been a long time since I replayed it. I only just got passed through the first dungeon.
Yeah.
So I'm not too far into it, but the mechanic where you need to like take pictures of every little thing to earn money, that's really fun because you kind of forget, oh wait, that thing I just fought is technically an animal. I should take a picture of that.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's a Zelda-like, and I love Zelda.
Mhm.
The combat is really simple. It's one of those like PS2 games. You know the kind, but it doesn't
Yeah.
take away from it at the same time either. The real experience is the world. The world is super cool. I love
Yeah.
exploring this place. The voice acting's still kind of cheesy though. We still haven't perfected that yet.
Well,
I-
some of it is cheesy. However, I think the voice actor for Jade, the main character, is still great.
Yeah,
Like,
she's great, but she's also given really awkward lines at very awkward times. Like, "Come
Yeah.
on, Paige," and it's like, "Oh, that didn't really quite hit." And
Yeah.
it's still a great game. I absolutely really like this game.
we also have. There's also the actor, the side character that is pretty much like this version of Quark from Ratchet and Clank. Like he's just like the big dumb idiot that thinks he's in control, and like he's like at one point hanging from a pipe, and he's like, "Oh, don't worry, Miss Jade, everything is in control."
Yeah. Oh, the Mr. Agent guy. Oh, he's
Yeah.
fun. But yeah, that's a really great poll. Gary, you have any thoughts on Beyond Good and Evil?
No, just that joke about Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Yeah. What Beyond
Go
Good
try
and
the-
Evil 2? There never was
Yeah.
a Beyond Good and Evil 2 announced. You are insane.
Go try the first one if you find it. Like it's on Steam. It's been remastered for current gen consoles, so it's out there. It's great.
Yeah. Let's see. Did everyone talk 84? Or Gary, you have 84 to go.
No, NBA Street was my 84.
Okay. So
83. I just did
80.
83.
83.
Oh, okay. My 83 is Star Wars Battlefront 2, parentheses, 2005.
Ah, yes, the good one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I played Battlefront. I played Battlefront 2 on PS4 a little bit, but that was more because I was a huge fan of Battlefront 1, the 2014 one, which we'll maybe talk about again later. But for this right now, Battlefront 2 on PlayStation 2.
Yeah. I was just gonna say real quick, the one that everyone hates actually does get good. They finally made it where it was really good, and I actually played quite a bit of it. I never played the PS2 version though. So
Yeah,
Gary,
the one that everyone hates was the brunt of loot box
yes,
kind of comeuppance, and so that was a fun like saga of many months and Disney finally getting involved and everything. But this game, this Battlefront 2 on the PS2, is a game that got me more involved in Star Wars lore than anything else had previously, probably even more than movies had it up until this point, where I was understanding the differences between what a stormtrooper was and what a scout trooper was, with a sniper. And then when I see the
Nice.
movies and I see that helmet, you realize like, oh, that's that. And it's the kind of first time for me where you're building out that world. And that's why I think Star Wars is so powerful, because it's just like, pick a medium and you can build it out into that, like a card game or a board game or an RPG or a video game or, books or comic books. And so like being able to just really make use of that, and every possible team that you can be a part of. So like you could be the Wookiees on Kashyyyk, and the game modes on this game where you had some like dog fighting in space, but also on planet shooting, like third person shooting, and you would be able to always choose what character you were. And so if you died, you'd maybe choose a different character or a different starting place on the map. And it was very much a kind of momentum based game to see who would like dominate the map. And it's just so much fun to play with the strategy. Like, oh, I'm going to start going sniping, or I'm going to really go in heavy with a heavy trooper. And then what this game does, what this game's kind of famous for, is I wish I could pull it up right now. I think it's called Galactic Assault or Galactic. It was a game mode where they put it all together, and it would essentially last maybe like 3 or 4 hours, and you would dominate a whole galaxy and essentially go from planet to planet until one of the players won. So I spent a whole summer playing this with just one other friend, where we would just pay on PS2, and one person would be one team and one person would be the other. But this is where I learned so much of the backstories behind, like, oh, that's what the rebel ships look like. I was really only familiar with the Empire's their large star destroyers, or all the different classes, and even just that's probably where I learned the planet Kashyyyk, and all the Wookiees there. And it just was such a great use of all of that world building. So I really love this Star Wars Battlefront 2 game.
This is where they introduced ship to ship battles too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was really fun.
It was so awesome.
Flying up against the Star Destroyers and trying to take out their cannons and stuff, and then you could board the ship, and it was really cool, like ahead of its time. But round based as well. It wasn't just like a round based as in like, okay, we're playing a game now. We're starting a match based, I should say, really, not necessarily like open world or something. So really fun.
It took what made Battlefield so special and just skinned Star Wars over it.
Yeah.
And then perfected it.
Moving on to my 83. I'm curious if you have it on your guys' list or something from this series. Number 83 for me is the NES classic Contra.
Ooh, I do not, but good one.
Not me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I really have to explain too much about what Contra is? I mean,
no.
It's one of the most like, oh, I played that when you're our age games of all time.
It's the ultimate game that comes in a pack of games.
Yes, it totally is. It's also like one of the first games you have to play with someone else, because you can play it alone, but it's just better with two people. It's one of those games that scream you need a second controller, and you also put in the infamous Konami code.
Yeah, it's a game that forces you to cheat.
Yeah,
because it feels impossible to beat without cheating.
Now I can beat it solo without the Konami code, but yeah, that just
Oh.
tells you how much I wasted my life. So
Let me pull out that gif of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Whoa, we got a badass over here.
yeah, exactly. Now,
Also, if you
granted,
look at the cover, it tries to trick you that the Terminator and Rambo are fighting the alien.
yeah, yeah. Oh my god,
Yeah.
this was that era of gaming, all right. Where like they just like let's just rip off shit and put it on the fucking cover. But I don't know what else needs to be said. It's one of the most classic games to ever classically game. It's fucking Contra. If you don't know what I'm talking about, they got a great collection that you can just buy on like any modern system. Go buy the Contra collection right fucking now. Go
I'm
have
sure
a
if
good
you type in Contra, you could probably play it on your browser.
Yeah.
you probably fucking could.
I feel like also this is a great example of a game that hates you. Like
Yeah, it does.
it oppressively does not want you to succeed in any way.
No,
That's how games were replayable then, was by
Yeah.
not being able to be beat, you know?
it's funny because I say you got to play this game with a partner, but some of those levels actually work against you with a partner, like the waterfall level, where you're like, okay, you jump and I jump. Like, no, you're going too fast. No, don't. And next thing you know, you're dead because like your partner's going way too fast up the fucking waterfall. I will keep this train running and go to my 82 because I'm hoping this one's on somebody else's list. Otherwise, we're gonna be here all fucking night. Speaking of classics, it doesn't get any more classic than The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Hey.
Is it on yours, Gary?
Nope.
Oh,
Take it
Kevin?
away, Jordan.
God damn it! Oh,
My parents did not get me A Link to the Past. I finally got a chance to play this when I got it on Game Boy Advance.
That's when I got to play it in its entirety as well. But I did get to play it, just not on. I didn't own a Super Nintendo till way later in life, but I got to play it elsewhere. Thus, I didn't get to beat it till the Game Boy Advance version. But my aunt gave me a comic book that retells the entire story, and it was like one of the best comic books I ever fucking owned. It was a kind of a thick one too for comics at the time, and it was absolutely gorgeous. And it had characters in it that weren't even in the fucking game. Like there was this eagle dude that helped you beat Ganon at the end. It was a trip. But as for like this classic game, you start off in middle of a storm and you're trying to rescue the princess, and then it was one of those Super Nintendo games that oozes atmosphere right at the beginning, very similar to like Metroid, Super Metroid. Like that game just oozes fucking atmosphere, and I imagine we're gonna talk about it later, aren't we, Kevin?
Oh, what? I'm sorry.
I was just talking about some other game with some lady in armor. Not a
I can
big
neither
deal.
confirm nor deny what is higher up on my list right now.
But like I said, it starts off with the banger of like sneaking into Hyrule Castle. There's a storm outside. You grab the princess and you make your escape to the sewers. What an epic way to just start off your game. And then you get the big old like Master Sword. And then later you get sent to another world, and it just opens up Legend of Zelda. Like, I would say the first two games are very classic. They're very awesome. This is where they really figured a lot of shit out.
Yeah, yeah. I'll tell you a very funny story where, like, when I first played this, I had no knowledge of the game, and so I was a dumb kid in high school, and I was just kind of like, okay, cool, like, yeah, I finished the third dungeon. Okay, like you go into the fourth dungeon and you fight the boss of the game to rescue Zelda, and I thought like, well, yeah, this is it. This feels like the final fight of the game, and then he sends you to the Dark World, and you realize like, oh shit, there are like another 9 dungeons to go through. My God, this game is so much bigger than I thought it was. And, and like my dumb high school mind was not expecting that.
Yeah, it's one of those big, I would say, early video game twist, because a lot of video games didn't have twists back in the day.
Yeah.
And this was like one of the first ones, and it's a really good one. It's like, hey, we're giving you more game, a lot more game, by the way. And the contrast of the light and the dark world's amazing. Like, everyone was like, oh, the Lost Woods is cool, and then you go in the dark world and you're like, there's nothing but skulls in here. Like, what is this gothic horror fantasy? It's fucking awesome. Gary, do you have any thoughts on this classic game?
I've not. If you remember, I said I was more of a Mario kid than a Zelda kid, but I've gone back to play some Zeldas after getting into it on Breath of the Wild. However, looking at this, I can't help but say how much like it did Pokemon before Pokemon.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, a lot of games at that time were Earthbound even, but like just that beautiful art style, and yeah, just feeling that sense of adventure going out into the wilderness and stuff. So really, I want to come back to this game. I hope it gets a remake.
I mean, you should check out A Link Between Worlds if you absolutely love this game. That felt like the truest like remake sequel you'll ever get. If you loved Link to the Past, yeah, A Link Between Worlds is a must. Hopefully that gets a port. It absolutely needs to come over.
Yeah. I would love to play that one, but I don't have a 3DS.
Yeah. Kevin.
Yeah.
82.
82. My 82 has the number 2 in it. And it is Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo HD.
This is higher on my list. No, I'm just kidding.
This. Hold on. Okay. It almost was on my list.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Wow. No way. It actually was.
Super Puzzle Fighter Tuber 2.
Yep. Well, okay.
I've seen this game before. So it's like the Street Fighter characters. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. If you were to take the Street Fighter characters and turn them into chibi characters of themselves, and then make a puzzle game out of this, this game is an excellent. This was like our party game for months in my apartment with a friend of mine, and we would constantly be matching up with each other and be like, okay, well, yeah, let's play a couple of rounds before you have to go off to work this evening. So like, hold on a second. And then, we do this, and before we knew it, 20 minutes had gone by. But this game was so good, for us, that he even included it as a game that we played during my bachelor party. And it was a ton of fun. The mechanics of it are very simple, where you're trying to build big crystals by matching smaller crystals of all the same color into a square that then build it bigger. and then you blow them up using an orb or like a primer orb to detonate it, and they explode. And then just like in Tetris, whatever you get rid of on your screen ends up as like junk over on the other player's screen. Very much like Doki Doki, whatever the
Puyo Puyo.
Puyo Puyo, that's what I'm thinking of. Whatever Puyo Puyo is like it's similar to that, or similar to versus mode in Tetris. Like it's going to be like that. So however, what you're trying to do in your playing field is very unique, and there's a lot of strategy in it. And also, the junk that shows up on your opponent's screen is very specific to a certain pattern, and that pattern is based on the character that you choose to sort of, in quotes, fight as. So there's some strategy when it comes to choosing your character too. And one of the best moments was when we were just playing, and mind you, this is when we were playing for months, and one of my friends just on a whim would pick Dan sometimes, and then he couldn't figure out why he was losing. And it's because Dan's counter, the pattern that shows up when Dan gets rid of blocks, they're just always red blocks for the junk that shows up on the opponent's screen. And so your opponent can really easily just use that against you. And he couldn't figure out why Dan kept getting him, like he kept losing sometimes. And finally, I was like, dude, Dan's counter pattern is just red. It's all red. And he's just goes like, oh, what? Oh, fuck you, Dan. Oh. And he realized Dan had been losing in matches for months on end. But in that moment, we agreed, like, okay, we're not going to use Dan anymore because we know how much he sucks. However, if we ever somehow go to like any sort of tournament and we end up squaring off against each other, we both choose Dan. And we see what happens. So then we got the idea, let's have Dan fights. And we both would choose Dan and then try and figure this shit out. And we would have our own strategies of trying to counteract each other and see who can send enough shit over to the other side to then get it bounced back to us, but not too much that it plugs up our entire screen, just enough for us to detonate something and have you get fucked over. So
that sounds great.
Yeah. This game became so many, like it created so many good moments on those nights where we were just hanging out, drinking, and playing Puzzle Fighter.
I have a similar game on my list, but we will not talk about that today. Gary, what is your 82?
My 82 is pretty simple. Halo 1 on Xbox One.
Never heard of it.
It's here. Are you guys, is it either on your list?
No, but I'm definitely going to get the PS5 version. So
yeah, I don't think I ever played the campaign. I just played this at a friend's house, and this is the game that's really confirmed that, or proved that dual stick shooters on a console is possible. Before this, I was like always thinking, first person shooters have to be on a PC with a mouse and keyboard, and then I played this game. And it was the first time, and I think after this, with Call of Duty and subsequent Halos, it was, where now first-person shooters live on console, and it's a major console genre. And before this, it was like maybe GoldenEye, but if you go back and play GoldenEye, like you could barely even call that a control scheme. And this is, what really proved it with the dual axis. So really. Had a lot of fun playing on, playing Blood Gulch, that map, and just playing 4 players at a friend's house. I played at a friend house who he had 4 brothers. He was a brother of 4, so 3 other brothers, and so they were all just so good. And yeah, it's just that one of the first times we were like, whoa, this is like a new kind of, this is next level gaming. And
Yeah.
just remembering that Duke controller, that first one. So
Oh, the one that only fit Chewbacca's hands. Yeah.
I had much more fun later on playing Halo 2 and 3, especially when you started getting into online and play lots of vehicles and stuff like that. But this is the one that's on my list because just what it did for revolutionizing first person shooters on console.
Yeah. It created a control scheme. And I had other shooters on GameCube while this was coming out, like the 007 shooters that were coming out at the time. I think Agent Under Fire was the first one, and I remember playing that, and they did not know how to make a control scheme for 2.6, and Halo did it, and it was like, oh no, this is how you do it, and this is how it works. Like this is something that has lasted since 2001 all the way to today. Like this created the modern control scheme that we have now.
Well, they had right and left. They added right and left buttons, basically R1, L1. Back then, it was like on the black and white buttons.
Oh, right. Yeah.
I remember being like, "How do I throw a grenade?" And it's like, "There's a 5th and 6th space button." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, there weren't shoulder buttons that are like that. There were triggers, but there weren't
just 2
like
triggers,
bumper buttons. Yeah. But like
when they added that with the 360 is part of the reason 360 was like still the controller that kind of like is the de facto PC controller.
Yeah. I personally don't have much to say. I only played Halo a few times. Red versus Blue's funny. Yeah.
As far as the campaign goes, like that moment when the flood shows up, and I remember thinking like, I don't know what to do with this. Like I'm just getting killed left and right. What do I do? And like I still at that moment didn't realize like, oh, this is like a zombie game. You just have to run. And it was like, well, no, don't I have to shoot everything? It's like, nope, they're gonna keep coming. Just run.
Also, like you have these cool futuristic, the marine weapons, like pistol and stuff, but then you start getting the alien weapons, and that plasma pistol was such a fun idea of that, charging pistol, but in first person, and it was really fun. That's Halo.
Kevin.
Yeah.
What is your final entry of the night?
My final entry is going to be another game that was featured on the PlayStation Plus Game Club, and that is Superliminal.
Oh, yeah.
So this is one of the best first-person puzzle adventure games that I've ever played. It really makes you have to think to solve some of these puzzles, but it doesn't. It's not strenuous. It's just one of those things where it's like, okay, well, we're going to introduce this idea and see if you can figure this idea out or figure out this puzzle using the tricks of perspective that we've taught you so far. It's also a very short game. It doesn't overstay its welcome, so you can actually speed run it in under an hour, and you can get a trophy for that. But it also has a lot to say about mental health, and it encourages people to seek help if that's what they need. And I think that's something that's very important. It's a very good message for this game to have, but it also institutes that in a very, very nice way, and it doesn't beat you over the head with it. It just says that, like, oh, like, here's this this process that we are going to take you through, and this whole game, this whole experience is all about somebody getting help, and this is one way that we're trying to help you work through your problems. And there's a couple of moments where it's like, oh, this might be a horror game, but then it fakes you out, and it's like, oh no, it's not really a horror game. You thought you were seeing a shadow of a person. That's not it. No, it's a mannequin. It's not a mannequin even. It's like a giant chess piece. And so, this is just here to like act as an art piece and a statement of, seek help if that's what you need. So there's no shame in getting mental help from somebody, like going to see a therapist. And sometimes you just need somebody to help you work those cobwebs out in your head, or like help you talk through a problem. And this game promotes that kind of thing.
I don't really have any thoughts on this game. I never played it, and I vaguely remember your episode on it.
Okay, yeah. Superliminal is pretty cool puzzle game too. Highly recommend it. Does very cool things with perspective, where like there's like a ledge that you're trying to get up above, and you've got a small cube on a table, and if you pick up that cube and hold it in front of your face, and then look over at this ledge and drop the cube, it is now a giant cube that you can crawl up on top of to get up to that ledge.
It reminds me of that other game that's also on the PS Plus service right now with the camera.
Viewfinder.
Viewfinder, yeah.
Very fun game.
Cool Gary, conceits. Do you have any thoughts on Superliminal?
No, I've never played it. Looks cool. I like the chess pieces and the pictures. It made me think of blueprints.
Yeah, it does some really cool things with perspective, and there is a sequel that just came out called Subliminal. So I want to check it out.
Oh, nice. Gary, what is your final entry of the night?
My 81st game is Demeo. Demeo is a game
another
on
VR game.
Yes. And it's actually technically available on PC as well. But this game, they came out more recently with a actual Dungeons and Dragons collaboration called Demeo D&D Battlemark, or no, Demeo. I should just look it up.
Demeo Dungeons and Dragons. I was just talking to
Demeo Dungeons and Dragons Battlemark. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. I was just talking to Maximum Carnage a few weeks ago about this game.
So the original Demeo, they probably got the attention of D&D because it plays a lot like a tabletop D&D in VR. And again, they've ported it to be able to suit the wider audience of just PC. But when you're playing in VR, you are able to play like it's a tabletop in front of you, and you're picking up and rolling dice, and the dice either land on hit, critical hit, or miss, and you're moving these little characters around, and you're moving them that are models, little figurines, like as if they're D&D characters, or little miniatures. And you have this fog of war, so you can only see around corners as if, just as you would with sightlines in those kinds of games. And you're fighting these monsters like spiders and goblins and stuff like that. And it's all in a grid-based RPG system. And you have different characters like a ranger or a wizard. And it's so fun to play with other people, but I've played a bunch just myself where you're controlling your whole party, and it's just a way you put on a VR headset and you play for an hour like you're playing literally in a basement. And one of the coolest things is that, like a lot of VR games that I really enjoy, is you get to play with scale. So even though it's a tabletop scale, you can all of a sudden zoom in and make it so that it's life size if you want. and you're like right there next to the characters. And the way that you see other players in this game is with a mask, and you see where their hands are at. So you can see the other players where they're leaning and looking on the table, and you can see if they're zooming in or zooming out because they themselves get big or small in comparison to the table. And yeah, it's just a really fun game that really makes you feel like you're playing D&D in a basement. But when you move a character and it does its action, its attack or something, all of a sudden it's animating and shooting that lightning bolt or something like that. And there's so many great environmental things that happen. And it was so successful that it then got the attention of D&D, and they got the actual license and made that sequel, which I haven't played yet, but it's actually using more of the D&D move sets and characters and all that kind of stuff. So but this game, even though it's a generic version of it, it's really fun. I forgot to mention it's also card based, so you're using your characters and you're gaining card, and you're choosing amongst your cards what actions you're going to play, what spells you might have or something, and so you're trying to save up the good ones, and you eventually have a boss at each level. And it's not easy game. It's an easy game. It's you can die very easily. So yeah, Demio on VR is my 81st game.
Yeah, this is one of those games that definitely you can see the potential and like unique perspectives with VR. This game kind of makes me go, I wish there was like a Magic the Gathering or like Yu-Gi-Oh game, because you would be able to do cool shit with that in VR that you just can't really do on a traditional system.
Absolutely.
Any thoughts before we get to the final entry of the night?
No, I've often looked at Demio and thought about buying it, but yeah, I just haven't gotten around to it because I know that I don't have time to play it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The final entry of the night is probably, I'm going to guess, the newest entry on all of our list. Resident Evil 9.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm a big Resident Evil fan, and I fell in love with this game. Leon's sections are awesome, but the new character Grace, her sections are terrifying. Resident Evil has had this weird problem lately of like, when do we get super scary and when do we like just admit that we're part of an action game? And I think this blends the both very, very well. Have either of you two played RE9 yet? I think Kevin has.
Well, I played the demo when I was at PAX last year, and I haven't gotten around to the actual game.
Okay. What about you, Gary?
I've not really played many Resident Evils. I played a little bit of 2 back in the day, and then I played 7 on VR.
You just
you dove into that one, huh?
Yeah. I went straight into that. And then 8 had a VR one. I didn't play that, but the sickos that are into 8, you know why. No, I love watching the streams of this one on Kind of Funny. So.
God, this is just such a great game. The first section as Grace is just, well, I would say the first real section as Grace is just so fucking terrifying. Oh. When you're being chased and by the thing, and you're just trying to get to a light lit area, and it just builds and builds. This is like a fan game moment too, of just like, oh, Leon's back and we're going back to Raccoon City. What the fuck? I had an absolute blast. I was just going to say, I just had an absolute blast with this, and it's one of those games I think will live on in a great way, because it's also really fucking ridiculous. There's this area where you're on a motorcycle with Leon, and it turns into almost Devil May Cry levels of bullshit that is in the best way possible. Of just like, I can't believe that fucking happened. This is Capcom just having a blast with its own IP. Kevin, what were you going to say?
Well, it's funny that you brought up Resident Evil 9 right now, because I just logged into my library account and checked, and it is ready for me to pick up at my local library. So I'm going to go get it and play it.
Great. Nice. I can't wait for your another 100-word essay when you return.
Support your local library, folks.
But I think that is going to wrap it up for us. We're almost 2.5 hours in. My throat is killing me.
We'll get better. Tired. We'll get better at this rhythm.
Yeah.
I will finish with a small hint to say that's not the youngest game on our list.
Oh, really?
No, he already... Like, Gary, didn't you bring up Mixtape earlier?
Oh, yeah. That's
well, I have one even more recent.
No shit. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
We'll wait to get to that one.
All right.
All right, guys. Well, this was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's 81 through 90.
Gary, where can we find you?
You can follow me at Gary SY on Blue Sky and Threads. Threads, it's GYARB, and Instagram as well. And most importantly, Frame Rate is the podcast. You can find me, Frame Rate with Gary Yarbrough. And I'll have an interview pretty soon with a friend who worked on Backrooms, actually, that we mentioned in this episode.
Oh,
he helped
awesome.
build the sets. So
Great movie.
This movie especially, the set builder is like, got a lot to say. So excited to have that conversation.
That sounds great. Yeah. I should really check that out. Kevin, tell us about the PS Plus Game Club.
So the PS Plus Game Club is a monthly book club, or monthly game club that is like a book club. And coming up, we are going to be talking about Bramble the Mountain King. And Jordan, I think you're joining me for that one. So that one looks like it's going to be a ton of fun. We should be recording in just a little over 2 weeks from now. So I got to get to playing that.
Yeah, I need to play more of it too. I only got a little bit in, but what I have played, I really liked.
Yeah.
And as for myself, I am Jordan Vickers over at Sage Tipple Studios. Find me on patreon.com/Sage Tipple, where $5 puts you in my $5 thank you tier. And thank you, Kevin, for being the only member. Very much appreciate that. But hey, we are growing, and shout out to Chrissy who has been putting out shorts. I've been giving her directions, and lately one of my shorts I knew was going to be a banger, but like it's my first one that got over 1,000 views, and it's one where Kevin is talking about Mario being tortured. Oh, what a snuff film, man. I was like, this has to be the short for the episode. We were talking about Star Fox that episode, of all fucking things. But what a great clip. Go find that out at Sage Temple Studios. Go check out the entire episode we did talking about Star Fox as well. I recently played the new remake, and that was awesome. I very much enjoyed that. Finally got my hands on it. As for us, we will be back again shortly to add more to this list. And I hope you all have an awesome night tonight.
Thank you.
Bye.